So the armoured vehicle came around here. It was stopped here by a constructed traffic instructional pole. We exploded the pole. It dropped in front of the vehicle. We placed 4 cameras around this, which is a separate setup. At that point, 6 men run from a vehicle and surround the armoured vehicle. 2 guys on each side fire and explode the tyres on each side. Again, we placed 2 cameras on that, exploding the tyres. After that point, they put explosives on the back door, which again we placed 4 cameras on. Putting multiple cameras on it, 5 cameras on each sequence when you're exploding things and firing weapons was an important way to kind of get the cut rate up to make it, you know, the MTV kind of style of cutting. The door exploded in the story, killing the 2 guys within the vehicle. In the front of the vehicle, there are 2 characters. One of them is Sam Fardy. He gets out of the vehicle and fires at Akri Fakri, who was also shot. So they are both shot and fall down in those positions. The 3 guys go into the vehicle and start to get the money out. And there's supposedly $36 million in that vehicle for our storyline. So our 6 assailants were trained, and they were TIU guys, real police operatives, and a stunt guy. So that was an important thing. Because when you get the real guys, which we've used in season 1 and season 2 when we do raids on houses, they're just fantastic to work with because it's their job. So there's no kind of acting. Those guns are horrible things, and if they're using them, they know what they're doing. And I think that all adds to the scene, that you're trying to be as real as possible. Okay, the next part of the sequence is one of our characters, Callus. One of our regular characters is driving along here. She's having an argument with her mother about babysitting, and at this point she sees the heist down the street and she drops coffee on herself, reversing. She gets out of the car, she points the gun at the guys and says, "Police, stop." And then the 6 guys, who are all army trained, start firing on her. And then we had all these bullet holes on the other side of the car. What happened there was 90 bullet holes which were drilled. Each bullet hole is actually drilled, and an explosive is put on in that hole, and then it is covered and painted over so it looks like the car. They're all wired up. So we put 5 cameras on this again and then set them all off. So we had 70 shots, but we had 5 cameras on it, so you multiply that by 5, you've got a lot more bullets hitting the vehicle. And there's a lot of camera shake as well. When those weapons are firing, they make a lot of noise and there's a lot of compression, so the cameras were shaking, but I think they were shaking for the very reason I'm being fired upon. So you've got to kind of just mess it up so it's looking like it's a documentary or news footage, that it's not shot in a classical way. So during this sequence we shot 750 rounds by the 6 guys up there, which apparently is a record. So Callus is hiding behind the vehicle here. At this point, you know, she's there for a very long time. She hears the gunshots dissipating. She gets up, looks, and she sees the 6 men retreating to their vehicle. She then runs from here to where Sam Fardy is to see if he's alive, and he is. And she calls it in and calls an ambulance as well.
What's your name?
Sam Fardy.
Sam, it's going to be okay.
It's just keeping, as I said before, that documentary feel. It's almost the event is happening and we're kind of just keeping up with it. I think that's the problem with action films. If you're ahead of the action, it's not as interesting. So we tried to keep a lot of that. You know, when Callus is behind the car, we don't necessarily go right up to the guys firing, you know, close-ups of guns and faces and eyes. It's more her POV of that event, which is, I think it's important because it's what it's doing to her.